I'm Violet and I have a problem. This is my first ever card binder. In fact, I got it only a few weeks ago. My end goal is to have a different binder for each Pokemon deck and try to collect all of them. This binder has a little over 60 cards in it from a handful of different decks. I made the first page some cool cards that I just like a lot, like we got a Poliwag from the 90s, full Porygon line, all from the same set, which was insane to find. And then just these random promo cards that don't really matter much, but still neat to have. I don't know that a ton of people necessarily thought these were cool enough to keep after using the promo code on them, so I think it's just fun to have them in a binder. They aren't the most valuable cards in the world, but I'm just here because it's fun. I'm not trying to become a millionaire off of Pokemon cards. After this first page, all the cards in here are just in chronological order of release. Initially, this was going to be all the 2025 cards if I could get my hands on them. I was going to do like a binder for every year type thing, but I have such a huge variety of different cards from different times that I decided to make this a binder of cards I've gotten from other people, since I didn't want the other cards just sitting around until I could get more binders. I've affectionately dubbed this the gift card binder, pun intended. Nobody laughed. The only money I've actually spent here is the binder itself. And you know what that means. I'll need a binder for each different deck they put out and then to track down cards from those decks to fill them up. Need someone to play that one stream clip where I didn't know what Reshiram was. This is what getting a boyfriend does to a guy. It's a thing I can't pronounce because I've never seen or heard that word before from Pokemon. I don't game. I don't watch TV. Y'all know this. No, but this is genuinely one of the coolest things I own, though. I know a lot of these cards aren't super special, but it's where they came from that means the most to me. This Poliwag and this Porygon line I got for free at a card shop. They had a bunch of singles that you could get for $1 a piece, and it was some discount if you got two. I think it was buy one, get one free. So I looked for each Porygon individually and then realized I could get one more for free, so I found a 90s Poliwag, which really isn't even that special, but the novelty of having an original card is just so fun to me. And when I got to the register, the cashier was like, no, don't worry about it, have them on the house, which is crazy generous, and I'll never take for granted how insanely lucky I got to find the entire Porygon line all from the same deck. I would have been happy just finding all three of them, even if they were from different releases. Like, this is just the icing on the cake. All the rest of these are from Kalen, so maybe like 50, 55, if I'm counting right, somewhere in there. I was up north visiting him for a weekend, and while we were there, he got a bunch of packs to open, picked out the ones he wanted to keep, and I absolutely made out like a bandit and got to yoink the rest. I also bought like 6 different SpongeBob shirts. That's not related, I just wanted to be transparent. I might just be, we'll call it passionate about the stuff I like. I can be a normal adult, I swear. I just think more adults should have hobbies. I have one of the most cliche 9-to-5s imaginable. I'm training as an insurance license, so let me have this. I'm also working on a doc with a list of every pack in chronological order, with every card released and what number it was, so you could print it out and cross off the ones you have. Once that's done, I'll pin a comment. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you to share this video with all your friends, but I will say, life hack, send it to your own alt, like on Discord or something, and pin it so you can check the comments to see when I finish that doc. For now, it's just plain text. Here's a look at what it's looking like so far. But at some point, I do want to make a prettier version that most people would actually be proud to show off. Maybe make like one-sided pages with scans of all the cards to print out and put in a binder so it's all set up for when you get the actual cards and then not have to count where they belong. That's one thing I love about the TCG app. It handles all that stuff for you, so I don't need to keep track and leave empty spaces in a real binder for the cards I don't have yet, and then realize I miscounted, so I have to start everything over, and I'm not spiteful having done that exact thing. Why would you even imply that? But yeah, let me take y'all through the cards I have. This first page I already went over earlier in the video. 90s Poliwag and then all 3 Porygons. These are from 2008, then some promo cards. I think they're all from around the times when Scarlet Violet released. I am sort of kicking myself because we threw away the actual packaging all the cards came in. I wish I'd kept one of each different pack to sort of separate them all out so it's easier to see. And apologies in advance for the change in audio quality that's about to happen. Most of the video was scripted so I could sit up my mic and record properly, but for this section, it's just easier to go through the binder on camera, except the first page since there isn't much to talk about. But I don't have enough room on my desk at the moment to lay the binder out and have a camera set up where it's super easy to see everything. Hope it's not too unwatchable. It's probably not a huge deal, but I know a lot of people find the inconsistency a bit irritating. I'll be working on a better setup for stuff like this in the future since I can tell this isn't the only card binder video I'll be making. Alright, first things first. I know my hands are atrocious, just don't worry about it. I got grandma hands, bro. This is horrendous. I'm not even 25! Alright, let's take a gander at these, go through some of the coolest ones. I do like this little Fungus card. I think that's super cute. Look at him, he's still a guy. I want to hold him. If anybody follows me on Rare Candy, I'll have that linked in the description. Take a gander at that when you can. I think this card is really cool just for the sake of being really cool. I love the dual typing here. Electric grass. That is just really smart for an electric spider. I think it just makes sense. I also think this is just a really well printed card altogether. It's definitely not a 10. Maybe like, and I'm not good at this. I guess maybe like a 4 or 5, but that's still pretty decent. I think this is a really decent card. Cut that part out. I just embarrassed myself, dude. Clink up here. I'm a big fan of Clink. Couple gears in that family. Here's what we came here to see. Otherwise, a completely average card, like nothing crazy special. But like, we can appreciate this. We can appreciate this. Here's another hollow, another hollow, another hollow. Good heavens. I got a pretty good amount of hollows, actually. Because I only have like 60-some cards, which realistically is probably not as much as most people do. I mean, to me, that still feels like a pretty big number, because it's like the first cards I have and I got them all at once. So I went from 0 to 60, quite literally. And like, maybe 10 of them are hollow? I'd have to go back and count, but I think 9 or 10 of them are. Here's a better look at the Arcanine. I think this is a really good card altogether, like, good stats, it's a hollow, good art. I also just think this card looks really cool. I like what they got going on, the background, the border. I just think this is really cool looking. Even if it's not like crazy valuable, I just like looking at it and like holding it in the light and shaking it around. I'm simple. It doesn't take much. Okay, well, there's the card everybody's been waiting for. Point and laugh at the VTuber card. It's okay. I'll let it happen. If I ever get into card trading, I'm never trading this one. Hi! You want to see the VTuber card, Maddie? I think this art is also super cute. Like, look at that. That's adorable. Boy. Big fan of this one. Got a Wooper down here. I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out my goat Wooper. It seems, okay, maybe I'm just in a specific corner of the internet, but Wooper seems really popular lately, which I'm a-okay with. Look at this little menace. Here's where we get into some pretty cool territory. Got a couple duplicates, but what's cool is holo variant, normal variant. I think that's really neat. Also a little squelvet in the middle. 3 of the same card from the same set. Also, look how many on this page are holo. That's a little bit crazy. Holo, 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 holo. Like, come on. That's like 5 out of these 18 cards. And here's the last page in this gift card binder. Couple more holos, but it's a normal amount. There's only 2. I just got a text from a job I applied to, like, in a different calendar year. I don't want a job. I'm talking about my Pokemon cards on YouTube. Hi, Maddie. Hey there. Is my yapping bothering you? She's part of the video now, too. A few different locations, couple items, and then this dude. I like this card, though. I just think this is a good character design. I also really like this energy. This is 2025, right? These are just from 2024. So, like, I love the variety. This also looks like some of the super old cards. Like, this just feels like a much older card than it actually is, just because of the art, the way it's done. And we are back on mic. Hope this was a fun watch. I know I had a good time just info dumping about every single card I own. It'll probably be a pain to edit, but worth it, honestly. If this is something you'd want to see more of in the future, definitely let me know. Or if you want to see me talk about any of the games, I'd be down. I played a handful of the super old ones, got started on Platinum, have maybe an hour or so of playtime in Violet because, obviously, why wouldn't I play the game named after me? Because that's definitely it. It's not like Violet is just a normal word and it genuinely is just a coincidence. Let me know what you loved or hated, and I'll see you later. Remember to eat, drink, and take your meds. This has been Violet, and I'm logging off.